in the 1890s, there was a more specific influence from the English Queen Anne and medieval revival styles. So you began to get gable ends finished like half-timbered buildings, that is with straps running vertically in the gable end of the building. And that is applied to single-storey houses, whereas in Britain it mostly applies to two-storeyed houses, and so you get a rather distinctive form of asymmetrical, slightly medieval red brick building design in the 1890s, which is what we normally think of as being Edwardian, although, as I say, it appears about 10 years earlier, and that persists through until about World War One. In internal terms, Edwardian houses tend to be, as on the outside, less elaborate. They tend to have more Art Nouveau character. They tend to have wallpapers which are often quite sombre in colour, but often involving rich dark greens and so on. A lot of varnished timber work. The designs being involving more diagonals in plan provide things like hall seats on the angle. You get elaborate ventilating centre flowers because you have now almost universal gas lighting until the electricity takes over, and they require ventilation above them. You often have a picture rail well below the ceiling height, which is a fashion of the time, often in stained timber. Usually the flooring is still, almost always the flooring is still in carpets and linos which have borders, so the concept of a wall-to-wall finish is still not really common at all. Even linos have their own border around the edge like a carpet, and runners run up stairs and steps with a border along the edge and don't go right to the side of the stairs, and the surrounding area might be varnished heavily or indeed painted in a black or Japan colour. In the Edwardian period you tend to have a lot of use of sconce fittings, that is bracket lights on the wall, partly because until electricity comes in it still was inconvenient to light gas at the centre of the room, although there were pneumatic switches developed which could do this, and they were used in the more elaborate houses. The light fittings tend to have glasses which have colours, have graded pink and violet colours in them. The suspension fittings are sometimes made of brass. There was an arts and crafts influence, and you get elaborate brass fittings, and they carry on into the early electrical designs as well. The fashion for natural materials, arts and crafts and so on gave rise to at first Japan black timber work around fireplaces, and then naturally finished timber taking over from marble. Well, in the Edwardian period, the fireplace often has a timber surround of a somewhat Art Nouveau character, and is often tiled, and very commonly you have a complete tiled recess, and the fire is made on a hob, an iron hob standing within the fireplace. And so you find these totally clean, crisp tiles because the fire was isolated from it, as opposed to the Victorian fireplace.